Hello, welcome to my live. I just finished filming, so I was just filming another YouTube video, which is going to be out today, by the end of today. It was about different spiritual lessons that I had learned / was thinking about recently. But today, I want to talk about Naam Japna. I know we've been discussing this recently. But when I get into something, I'm very tenacious. When I get into it, I get into it. I like to get deep. I just become obsessed with it, kind of, you could say. And yeah, so I guess Naam, a mantra jap, is something that I've been obsessed with recently. And I've been reading the book that I've spoken about recently called Bulleh Shah, which talks about Bulleh Shah Ji, who was a Sufi mystic. There's a cyber homie Priya. Yes, she is here. Why am I getting awkward? Hey Chaik, how are you? All well, hopefully. Did I have a great weekend? I did. Yeah, it's just the weekend that's gone right. Yeah, I did. I spent it relaxing. I had some client calls that I was doing. So those were kind of tiring. I think I was tired after that day. But yeah, taking things easy, listening to my body, whatever my body wants, doing that, and going with the flow of life, being surrendered. Today, I wanted to go a little bit more into Naam because, like I said, I've been reading. I'm great. I had fun playing cybersecurity goddesses behind the scenes on YouTube. The cybersecurity goddesses. What does this mean, Chaik? Who are the cybersecurity goddesses behind the scenes on YouTube? You're gonna have to explain. I have no idea what that means. Yeah. But yes, like I said, I've been reading Bulleh Shah Ji's book, and I happen to be on the part that talks about Naam. So kalma is what they call it in Sufism, the word. And I was really surprised to see that they had mentioned the word, in many different religions. So it spoke about the word from Christianity and how there are references to the word. So the word in Christianity is referred to as the Holy Spirit. So let me get it up. I have my notes. Okay. So in Christianity, the word is also referred to as logos, because in ancient Greece, the word was referred to as logos. It can also be referred to as the Spirit, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, and the Comforter. All of them denoting the creative power of the Lord. So one of the quotes from Christianity is, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and are safe." I'm monitored by cybersecurity and the FBI for the reasons I've stated in your chat. Right, okay, so your parents can get the Nigerian blood money, is that right? Oil money? Blood money? Oil money. Nigerian oil money. I think that's what he said. Okay, so yeah, the Jewish religion talks about the word. Zoroastrianism and the word. You have Taoism and the word. You have Islam, Sufism and the word. You have saints, which refers to the saints in Sikhism and the word. Hinduism and the word. So I was always kind of perplexed as to why the word, as in the name, is so important. So there are two different types of Naam, okay? There is Zati, which is essential or substantive. And there is Sifati, which is attributive. So Sifat, right? It's a word from Urdu, I guess. So there are two different names for God. There's the attributive name. I like that you were really thank you. I try. I really try. I try. Okay, so yeah. Attributive names of God are something like, the creator, right? We refer to God as the creator because that's one of the attributes of God. And you can add in other, what? Thanks for the advice last time. We put her in the basement. Like, you put who in the basement? We put her... Okay. Okay. I'm okay. Back to Naam. So yeah, there are two different types. Okay, like for example, the creator, you could say the beloved because that's also a name for God. Hey, Mike. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, I don't know who I said to put in the basement. You're gonna have to remind me. I'm sure I didn't say human being. I would never say that. Welcome, welcome. We are talking about Naam Jap now. Like I said, when I like to learn about things, I get really curious and I get like to go in depth about them, you know? I saw your video talking about your picture from a few years ago. It was cute and so was the experience and change you shared. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, one of the things was I was I had this thought, oh my god, should I be putting this picture up on the internet for everybody to see? What if people come and try to insult me and like, oh my god, you look like this or whatever, you know? But then I realized I don't really care because I can own it. Yes, that was me. Yes, that was what I was going through. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna say? You know, you can't come at anybody for something that they accept. So something like acceptance is really where your power is at. And what usually happens is we push away things. You know, we push ourselves away from wholeness because we believe that we can't love everything. And actually this is something that I was talking about to one of my clients about how wholeness and accepting all of your sides is super important, and it's something that I actually wanted to make a video about. So I think I will. I have in the past spoken about it on my lives about shadow work and this book called Existential Kink that really changed my outlook and helped me accept my whole true self. I know we're going kind of off on a tangent, but I'm glad that we're talking about it. It's something that I really enjoy talking about. Maybe we'll kind of change where I'm sitting because this is not kind of, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable. Give me a second. Okay. We're gonna move to my desk. Okay. Maybe we'll put the light on. Okay, so much better. Whew. I feel like you can say anything and make it sound intellectual. Oh my god. Is that a hidden talent that I have? Should we try it? Shall I say something really silly? I'm kidding. I need your blessings. Churn Dutch Bobby. Okay. Any internet hate should be interpreted as praise or prayer. Yes. Well, you know, this is one of the things, Trank, that I'm gonna be talking about. It fits in beautifully. So let me write this down because I want to talk about existential kink as well. Okay, that's something that I think I definitely need to make another video on. And then, yeah, so one of the things that I spoke about in one of my videos today is one of the spiritual lessons that I've been thinking about, this concept that they see, you know, they teach in Gurbani. And I heard about this in a podcast yesterday. This lady was talking about how, you know, she would post videos on YouTube, but it was for a limited audience. Only certain people could view it. And she said she realized that she would do it because she was worried about any backlash or any comments that may come from people that may be insulting or invalidating, or maybe there's some non-acceptance, or maybe there's some skepticism from people. And then she said, I realized in Sikhism, what they teach you is they tell you that praise and insult are fake. They're illusions in this world, just like everything else is an illusion. So don't fall prey to it. Don't get really soft and squidgy when someone compliments you, and don't get really heartbroken and feel deflated when someone insults you. You must treat honor and dishonor in the same way. That person will never be affected by other people. That person will always remain authentic. I mean, look around you. How many times do people, maybe your family members say it, maybe your friends say it, oh, if you do that, what will people say? Even in your own mind. Look, it's not even other people. Sometimes it's you within your own mind presenting yourself as someone else, like your mom or your dad, and thinking, oh my god, what will mom say? Oh my god, what will my partner say? Oh my god, what will my friend say? But why do you care? It's because you're so impacted by compliments. That's what it means, right? You want praise, and then you're upset when you're insulted. About Ravi, you have my blessings. Who am I to guess who's back? Who's back? Nice thoughts, but it's hard to accept it and move on. We are our own worst enemies at times. Yes. Hey, Vinod. Above my head. Okay. Very flowing organic chats. Fabulous. Thank you. Sometimes I'm just so in the flow of things, and then I kind of forget what I've been talking about. I'm not gonna fall prey to a compliment. You know, you can see, you know, I could sit here and think, oh my god, let me go on live. People are gonna compliment me and I'm gonna be so happy and it's gonna make me feel so good and it's gonna make my whole day. And then not expect to be completely destroyed by one comment that people make that may be insulting or critical. Does that make sense? It's all coming from the ego. The ego decides, okay, this is good for me. I like this. I want more of this. This feels yummy. I want you to compliment me. Yes, give me your validation. Yes, give me your acceptance. Oh my god, this feels like I'm gonna die. Someone just told me that they don't think my hair looks good. You know, it'd be like that sometimes. What's the spot called? It's called a bindi. Welcome everybody, welcome. Today we are talking about, well, I mean, we were supposed to be talking about why Naam. I guess we're talking about loads of different things, you know? Okay. Yeah, we were talking about loads of different things, I guess. But yeah, that was one of the really important spiritual lessons. I had to reflect back and think, Priya, is there ever a time where you act in a certain way because you want people's respect? Because I had this, like, for example, when I had this whole transformation and I started going to the Gurdwara more, I would get people's respect. People will, you know, I never had this before where people are coming up to me, oh my god, you're such a good girl, you know, like all the auntie are like, oh my god, Priya, you're such a good girl, you do this. And I felt good. It felt good to get that. And then what happened was, soon after, you know, something happened and I felt, oh my god, people don't respect me anymore. Do I want to go there again? What are we doing here? Okay, your hair is beautiful. Thank you so much. This is where we need to focus on inner strengths. They're just words. Sort through them. If positive, nice. If negative, be like duck in the water, let them roll off. Yes, exactly. Them, because people end up having expectations and they feel worse when they're not met. Yes, exactly. So like I said, in the same place where I was being respected, I felt great, okay? The spiritual ego was really having a blast. And then in the same breath, I felt that I wasn't respected anymore, and that felt heartbreaking to me. And then I realized, why am I getting caught up in this? This is not what Sikhism teaches. It teaches that, like I said, honor and dishonor must be treated in the same way. You're not being authentic if you're doing things just because people like them. Like, for example, maybe, you know, I had to look back at myself and think, Priya, do you mute yourself at times in regards to what you speak about when you go on live or in your videos? Do you really put your full self out there? Because like I said, I'm a very tenacious individual. I like to go in depth about things and I want to talk about them and I may want to talk about the same thing for months. You know, is that okay? Can I allow myself to do that? Can I accept that that's something I want to do? But you was kush hega third left side. Okay. There's something left side? So wait, this is I'm leaving. Okay, bye. There's something on my left. Is it white? Oh, it's fine. It can chill. Let it chill. Hey, what's in ball? What is it? Where is it? Miss Priya, it's wonderful seeing you this morning to start the week. I'll go so you can do you without me being the distraction. Oh, see you, Chai. Thank you for being here. I mean, you're not a distraction. But if you need to go, you need to go, right? Yeah, if someone notices something in my hair, just let it be. I don't know what it is. But yeah. He has a problem with you. Okay. Log kya kahenge? How many times have we heard that? You know, what will people say? Well, if you do this, does that make sense? Why are we all so concerned about someone else? Why do we want to be, because what we want at the end of the day is their validation. You're validation seeking when you want to adhere to what people want. Who are they anyway? The only person that one needs to appease is the God within you, you know? Okay, tell me something. If I choose one thing among love and study, what should I choose? Why do you have to choose? You can have both. You can have love and study. Oh, as in like, are you saying, should you study something you love? Should you do something you love or study because you are being told that you should study? Is that what you're asking? I mean, if you're asking me, I would say do what you love. I mean, look at me, you know? I do what I love. I refuse to do something that I'm being told to do. I don't want to do it. I don't care what this gives me. I don't know how much, you know, I don't care how much I make from it. Like, I'm doing something that I love. I'm dedicated to it. And the reward is in the doing. When you love something, that's just the reward. You're just doing it, you know? Rather than doing something for the sake of it. Why? Life is so short. You could be here 1 minute, you could be gone the next. And then what are you gonna, you know, when you're reflecting on your life, you say, I did something that was so unimportant. Well, Jay, let me tell you, can you not have both? You can have both. You can have generational wealth and you can choose love. I mean, love is all there is, you know? Love is the fountain of great abundance and joy and fulfillment. Imagine, okay, let's say that you built generational wealth but your life was devoid of love. How would you feel? Let's say the opposite. Let's say you didn't have generational wealth, but it's not like you were poor. You're not living in poverty. You have, you know, more than enough to meet your needs, but you have lots of love. You don't leave this world with anything. You're not going to take any of it with you. Or the cars, or the homes. And why do you care about generational wealth anyway? The you know, your generations to come can take care of themselves. Is it that deep? You know? See, I had a past trauma about my love. My ex just left me, so how can I believe in love again? Okay, your ex just left you. Love is who you are. Love is all there is. God is love. And look, the source of love wasn't your ex. Because let's say you didn't have love within you. No matter how much love your ex gave you, you would never be able to feel it because you didn't have it within you. So you were the source of love that came from your ex. So regardless of whether she's with you or not, that love exists within you. It came from within you. Everything comes from within you. Everybody else is just an NPC, if you want to think of it in that way. Does that make sense? Hey, Proco Bidank. Silly billies. I love that. Okay, so one of the things that I really wanted to talk about, that someone, you know, I think Chaik reminded me, maybe it was Chaik, is about who is the God in your religion. I don't have a particular religion. I don't. God and religion are not synonymous. Okay, by the way, I'm in India. I'm doing CA. I don't know what CA is. Studies right now, so I want to focus only on my study. Okay. You can do that, but you have a Hindu dot. It's not Hindu, it's just an Indian beauty thing, isn't it? I don't have to be Hindu to wear bindi. Oh, CA chartered. Okay, chartered. Okay, nice. So focus, Jay. What is the question that you have? Or do I choose love or study? Okay, at the moment you're doing your CA, maybe focus on your CA because you don't want to, sit and, okay, there's a saying. It's not about the fact that you fell in the river. The problem is when you remain submerged in it. That's when you drown. It's not when you fall in, but when you remain submerged in it. So what are you remaining submerged in? Are you allowing yourself to fall in the river and get out? So your ex left you, you fell in the river, and now you can get out. You're choosing to accept what happened. You understand that God loves you, that everything happens for a reason, and you choose to stay strong, resilient, and continue in life, knowing that God will always bless you with more. Or do you choose to stay submerged in the river? Are you going to stay in there drowning in it? Of course, there's, heartbreak is something that opens you up. It makes you vulnerable. It's your heart breaking so that it can be stronger and it can hold more love. So yeah, that's okay. But are you gonna stay submerged in the river? Are you gonna let this be your defining moment in life and just dolna? Is that what you're gonna do? That's the Punjabi word for dolna. Like, are you just gonna spill over and just, you know? The original Indians were black. I don't know that. Maybe, wasn't everybody originally black? In regards to our ancestry. My heart is breaking every day. Okay, why? So one thing that I was speaking about to one of my clients, so by the way, I do one-to-one coaching. If anybody would like, you can email me. My link is in my bio if you'd like to inquire about coaching, what I do, what I offer, how it works, etc. So one of my clients, he for the first time decided to be very authentic, and he admitted that he had been inauthentic his whole life, and there were aspects of him that I guess maybe he judged, and it happens to all of us. I had this too. What's my favorite type of music? My favorite, I like Qualia. Yeah, I take Qualia, which is Sufi mysticism music, I believe. My past haunts me. Okay, great. This is wonderful. We're going to talk about this. Okay, so let's say your sins are you're consumed by sins. Okay, let me start off by saying one of the greatest sins is not remembering God. So even a sinner that remembers God, that's okay, because you remember God. There's a presence, there's an understanding of the truth of the source of life. So that's good. That's a good start. Next, what I would say is that everybody makes mistakes, and it's because you didn't know any better that you did that, right? If you truly knew better, you would do better. You didn't know better, you didn't do better, and that's okay. When we look to the past and we keep thinking about the past, we keep the past alive today. So think about the past as an energetic structure. When you think about it, you're sending energy to that frame. It's an energetic frame. Think about frames. A movie, it's different frames, right? One frame, one frame, one frame, one frame, one frame. Right? So that's a frame. Let's say it's you committing a sin of some sort. I don't know, drinking alcohol or whatever. There's that scene, there's that picture. It's a frozen picture in time, and it's you drinking alcohol. Whatever sin, okay? This is an example. You thinking about it, you're keeping that frame alive. Just take your energy away from it. Why do you keep thinking about the past? Sorry for questions like, wait, what questions did you ask? Dovia, okay. You make mistakes every day. Okay. What kind of mistakes? Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Good day to you. What's the main topic you're discussing? Okay. I'm sorry, breaking online isn't good. What? Breaking online? No, I'm really glad that you're getting this out. It is really good to get things out. It's okay to admit whatever you do. It's okay to present your authentic self. What happens is that when we're young, right, during childhood, our authentic self is not validated. When we are children, we are very vulnerable. We need to be loved unconditionally. Whether we're loud and rebellious, whether we're outspoken, whether we're screaming, whether we're throwing our toys out the pram all the time, we need to be loved. But when we learn that we have to be a particular way to be loved, we have to be quiet, we have to be subservient, we have to listen, we have to perform well in school, we have to be nice to other kids, then what we learn is that, oh, okay, I have to be a certain way to receive love. Not just to receive love, but to feel safe. So I must hide things. Like, for example, myself, I was born in India, okay? And when I was in primary school, because now I live in England, I would tell people, because, okay, so I had an incident in primary school where this boy said, "Where were you born?" And I said, "India." And then he went, "Ew." And from that moment on, it was a signal to my subconscious mind, to my nervous system, that Priya, being from India and admitting that you were born in India is not safe. So you must hide this fact. You must lie. From that day on, this was year 4, grade 4, from that day on, I lied about where I was born. And you know, lies start off with one lie, and then you have to have more lie and more lies and more lies and more lies. And not only did I have to lie, but because of my lie, my twin sister had to lie, because obviously she can't say that she was born in in India, when I was saying I was born in Austria. We're twins. So this lie became huge. It became a huge source of shame and guilt, and I became very neurotic. Oh my god, is someone gonna ask me a question? Is someone gonna say this? Oh my god, is someone gonna see where my passport or my driving license, it says where I'm born? And it was just a huge headache, because I thought that who I truly am was shameful. So I would show people, my friends, my partners, my parents, a particular version, an inauthentic version of Priya. I couldn't love all of me, because I decided somewhere that all of me was not worth loving. Only a perfected, curated picture of Priya was worth loving. And what that does, it splits you in two. So people with bipolar, this is why they have bipolar, because their authentic self is not validated. And then they grow up being this fake individual. I was a fake, you know? And most people are, and that's okay to admit. Hey, I hope you're doing well. Do you want to do a collaboration video with me? It's a shoplifting tutorial. I think I'll pass. Shoplifting tutorial. You're gonna have to tell me more about it, but I don't know. I'm good, thank you. If you don't end up getting what you want out of life, then do you think you'll resort back to lying? No. No. Well, pray that shows the time society asks us of us, not allowing us to live. Yeah, you are not real, okay? It's true. It's true. And you know, I'm not the only person. I'm not the only person who's had to lie about things, who felt like she had to lie about things. What you'll realize is that a lot of us have hide parts of ourselves because we think that they're not going to be loved. Like, for example, I would be really scared about getting into a romantic relationship. I actually have videos, like, I think on TikTok maybe, posted about this, about I'm really scared to be in a true, honest, loving relationship with someone, because I don't want to be seen. I don't want them to see who I truly am, because somewhere down the line I learned that that was not a wonderful person to be. She was not acceptable, she was not lovable. And what if this act of mine is caught? What will I do then? Will they realize that, oh my god, ew, that's who she really is? Will they run away? That's how I used to feel. And that's wild. What did I lie about? I lied about where I was born. It sounds like such a tiny thing, but yeah, I was born in India and I lied about where I was born, and because I moved to England when I was 8, and in primary school someone said to me, "Where were you born?" This boy who was also half Indian, and I said India, and then he said ew. And you know what it is? Interestingly, now that I think of it, he didn't accept his Indian part. He was Indian. His dad was Indian and his mom was British, Caucasian. He didn't accept himself, so that was projected onto me, and then I didn't accept myself. And then that would lead to even more lies about different things, because I just created this whole different persona. And then it wasn't until that I learned to accept my whole self, because that's what you want. You want wholeness. There is just oneness, right? But I had Priya, who wasn't born in India, and then I had Priya, who was actually born in India, who was the truth, the truth of who I was. And I was always putting this one forward, like, this is who I am, this is who I am. When I was disregarding truly who I was, my authentic self. And then there's two aspects. There's a duality now. There's a fake and there's a true. But the fake never allows the true version to come out until I just integrated them, until I allowed myself to love the fake part of me. And this is what the book Existential Kink talks about. It talks about loving every aspect of you. There is a great need for you in this mixed world. Thank you. Everyone has some part of themselves they don't want to show, and that's perfectly normal. It is. And see now where you are. Exactly. Well, now, because I was able to do that work, right? I was able to really work with my shadow self and not shaming Priya, who thought that she had to lie, but loving her, because that was a survival mechanism. That was how I thought that I would survive, because the most important thing when you're younger is I need friends. I need to be accepted. I need to fit in. Even if that means I have to change myself, even if that means I have to lie about certain things, I will do that, because I need to ensure that I am in the tribe, that I am safe. It's just that some people carry on later on in life, But yeah, I had to love her because she was just protecting me. That Priya was just protecting me and saying things like, like, for example, like, I love to be insecure because I was insecure at the time. I love to be in unhealthy relationships. You're bringing love to everything. Does that make sense? Do you believe morality is subjective or objective? I allow love and this idea of oneness to dictate my morals. So, okay, I'm thinking about doing something. How would I feel if that was done to me? And it is being done to me, because me and said person are one. But of course, boundaries are important too. Is it subjective? Everything in life is subjective. I don't feel like there is any objectivity. Does that make sense? Because you'll always be your awareness. That's who you truly are. And there is only oneness. You are everything. So there is no other. There is only oneness, right? So there is no other. So then how can there be objectivity? That makes sense? Am I from India? I was born in India, yes. Peer pressure to be a cockroach and you hate. Be a cockroach and you hate. Okay. Love is physical, loyalty is spiritual. Is it? Love is physical? Okay. All humans come from the same source. We call it the source. It's basically the higher energy. Yes, it's true. It's good to take ownership. However, society has a big part to play in this fitting in crap. It's true. Okay, so what Epstein did is only subjectively wrong. Everything is neutral. Why do you need to label it? Why do I need to label it? Who am I to judge someone or something or to decide something? And this is going to sound wild to some people, but it's just a different level of thinking. Because what happens is there's a separation that takes place, but God is one. So you are Epstein. Epstein is made up of the same energy as you. We're all energy. Your energy, I'm energy. We have the same energy. Me and this book have the same energy. We are energy vibrating. Me and Epstein, we're energy vibrating. We're of one energy. This energy's showing up. There's good and bad. There is no good and bad. No one is. When you have this idea of good and bad, what you do is you introduce inauthenticity, because now you're trying to be good and trying not to be bad, and now it's okay. Society says do this. This is good. Okay, cool. I'll be like this. I've been good my whole life. Why am I? You're sick in the. I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you so much for that diagnosis. We don't have the same energy. Okay, look, like I said, you either get it or you don't get it, Yeah, in the end, good and evil become the same. They are the same. Good and bad can be so subjective. Exactly. What's good today is bad tomorrow. So what is good and bad? How is it the truth if it's so temporary? Think about it. One moment I say something and you think I'm great. Next moment I say something else and you think I'm sick. So what's the truth? Do your labels mean anything? Do they stick? The truth is that which is consistent. It is constant. Labeling, some people see Epstein as bad, and then other people who know a different version of him will see him as good. Just like Hitler. People will see Hitler as bad. Other people who Hitler may have helped may see him as good. So what is the truth? Am I Hindu? Nope. You're trying to be too English. You're not Indian enough. You're not British enough. You're not human enough. Look, Stussy, I'm not trying to be anything. I'm just being me, girl. Whoever that is. So, you're trying to put me into a box, It's not the good and bad box. It's she's Indian, she's British, she's human, she's not human, she's intelligent, she's stupid box. Why do we have to put each other in boxes? Why do we want to? I don't want to be in any box. Because who I truly am could never fit in a box, What to be in the end, good or bad? Be authentic. Be authentic and live from good love. And don't judge people. Embry, who said Epstein is good? You're mad. I didn't say he's good. I didn't say he's bad either. I said I don't have to choose. I don't have to label him. You know why? This is actually one of the things that I'm talking about in one of my videos that I'm going to release today. This is Ninda. Talking about people's flaws, judging them is Ninda. It's gossip. It's slander. And who are we to slander anybody, regardless of who they are? It says more about you than it says about that person. And the things that you slander others about, they say, people associate them with you and your character rather than that person's character. I don't want to slander anyone. I don't have to slander anyone. I don't have to label them good or bad, because who am I to judge anyone? And besides, to judge someone is a very low level of consciousness. What we want is non-judgment. Just because I refuse to judge him doesn't mean that I approve of what he did. I just don't care. It's none of my business. When you judge people, when you gossip about them, when you point out their flaws and he's bad and I'm good and he's bad, you're creating duality. And this channel is not about that. This channel is about oneness, understanding that we're all one. You are the dog that bites you. You are Epstein. I'm Epstein. Epstein is, you know what I'm saying? We're all one. You don't understand the reality of consciousness if you don't get that. And that's okay if you don't get it. It's okay if you think I'm wild. It's okay if you think I'm sick, because I am you. You know, and insult me, compliment me, do whatever you want. No, not you. That's the narrative. It's a figure of speech from what I've experienced. Oh, okay. What's that on your forehead? It is a bindi. It's your own protection. Me is goddess. Yeah. I'd say objectively Epstein is a bad person since the things he did are terrible. Okay, I get that. I get where you're coming from. I am by no means justifying it. All I'm saying is, what are you getting out of judging him? You're forgetting the truth. The truth is what I talk about. Oneness is what I talk about here. And if I were to sit here and label all the people who, you know, I'm being told are bad, I'm slandering people. I don't want to slander anyone. Where are my notes actually about this? One of the spiritual lessons that I have spoken about on one of the videos that I'm going to be releasing today is after everything is open and still you can't talk about that means you are good, saying good somewhere. You're not judging your neighborhood, you are judging the baby eater. Try to understand. Embry, look, I get it. I get where you're coming from, and if this was me 2 years ago, maybe I would have done the same thing. Maybe I would have sat here and spoke so badly of that person, but I don't want to take my energy there. I'm not taking my focus there. Why am I going to put my attention on something like that? Because the thing you criticize, your consciousness becomes attached to that thing. So you're criticizing that he's a baby eater. Now you're focused on a baby eating. And now you're mentally entangled with the idea of eating babies. Is that what you want? Do you get that there are angels and no angels? I guess so. What's the matter with me? I understand everything you're saying, but I'm trying to push the logic, because earlier you mentioned you look at it in terms of joy. I want something to also be done to me if it's done to others. Yeah, I get that. Look, I just let people be. I don't go out too much in the world. The world... I'm going to sound very cold and careless, but that's okay. I don't really care. I don't care for your insults. I don't care for your compliments. That's the way I live my life. I focus on my inner world, my inner reality, because that is everything. That is the truth. If I'm not observing it, it doesn't exist. If a tree falls, right, and no one was there to witness it, did it really fall? No, it didn't fall because no one observed it. He's not in my life. If this was happening in my face, yeah, sure, I can do something about it. But going and spending the rest of my time talking about this person, discussing him, slandering him, what is that going to get me? How are you positively benefiting from that? You know? I see your point. Okay. But I also think there's a difference between talking badly about a person and talking about the bad things the person did. There is no difference, because Ninda, right, which is spoken about, it is pointing out the flaws in someone. Why are you pointing out the flaws in someone? Do you not have flaws? It makes you feel good to sit there and look at him and say, oh my God, he's sinned so much. I haven't sinned that much. I'm a little bit better than him. Are you better than him now? That's your ego. That's victimhood right there, you know? People like Epstein exist, and this is why the world is like this. It's separation. Why do you not get about that? Why was this recommended? I don't know. What when you die? Yeah. Wait, what did you say? What when you die, does the world still exist? No. Not really. You're mad. Okay, how can you just leave them like this to the baby eaters who put Pepsi and Coca-Cola in their private parts? Okay, Embry, let me ask you, personally, in your personal life, how are you doing? By bringing, I don't know these things because I don't look into it. I don't even want to talk about this anymore, to be honest. I'm done giving my attention to it. If you want to talk about, you know, shitting on other people, pointing out their flaws, there are plenty of people in the world. There are plenty of things to judge. Go to a different channel. You know, go somewhere else, create a group and chat shit about people. That's the best solution I can offer you, okay? The comments have me saying, why good? Oh, I know. No. Yes, okay. The truth is, okay. To judge someone properly, he must have a very high level of knowledge about the world and about the situation. Even then, judging is probably not worth it unless absolutely necessary. Judging is never worth it. It is never worth it. In Sikhism, it is really, really emphasized that you should not slander because it affects your energy, it affects your spirituality, it affects your devotion and your bhakti, it affects your spiritual powers. There's spiritual wealth that you accumulate when you do spiritual practices. And when you talk badly of people, when you gossip about people, when you judge them, when you criticize them, you pick out their flaws, you spread rumors. When you feel good hearing people speaking badly of others, that is called ninda, and that takes away from your spiritual wealth. It affects you. There is no one else that exists but you. There is no other. Period. Oh my god, it's so long time to see you. Okay, hey, George, what? You know. Yeah, I am speaking to myself. When I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself because we're all one. Okay, the red dot is a bindi. A bindi is a Indian beauty practice. It protects your energy, it activates your third eye, makes you aware of your third eye, things like that. Okay, you mentioned that all that matters is the truth and authenticity. Also, you spoke about seeing things with your eyes. That's why I don't. Okay, the senses can deceive you, of course. Look, when I talk about the truth, I talk about that which is constant. The things I say are not constant. I'm trying shit all the time. 1 minute it's a truth, the next minute it's an untruth. What is the third eye? Okay, so do I have a third eye? Okay, the third eye. So you have different energy centers. This comes from Hinduism. You have different energy centers. So you have your root chakra, which is at your here, the base of your spine. You have your sacral, which is to do. Okay, so your root chakra is to do with survival. Your sacral chakra is to do with your sexuality, your creativity. Then you have your solar plexus, which is here, which is to do with your personal power and will. And then you have your heart chakra. And then you have your throat chakra, which is about being authentic. Your heart is about love. And then you have your third eye, the all-seeing eye, where you see the truth. You see beyond the illusion. You see reality. And then you have your crown chakra, which connects you directly to divinity. Her body. It's always funny when people say it like that. But yeah, everybody has a third eye. You could also say that it's the pineal gland. Hi King, nice to see you. How to astral travel? I have no idea. I don't think I've ever done it. Not the best person to ask. How to attain divine energy. Okay, you already have divine energy. That is who you truly are. It's about removing everything that stands in the way of your divine energy. And you can do that through many different mediums, you know? So what does the third eye do and how I know of activated? Okay, stay tuned. Thank you for these questions. Okay, I'm really not too knowledgeable about this, but I'll tell you this kind of what I know. So the third eye allows you to see beyond the illusion and see things, is what I've heard. How do you know you've activated it? I have no idea. It's something I ask myself, like, have I activated mine? How do I know? You're gonna have to go to a guru, someone else. I don't know, my friend. Uh, mm, mm. Okay, I was the one who told you about the enlightened dude, Seb Jones. Yes, you know, I forgot about Seb. I remembered one of the days that, oh my god, someone told me to check someone out and I didn't. But then, you know, I was thinking, do I want to watch someone's video just to laugh at them? You know? Just to judge them? Because I feel like that's what would happen, right? The self-proclaimed, his videos, yeah, like, do I want to watch his videos just to laugh at him? You know, I'm just laughing at myself at the end of the day, you know? So, okay. Arjun versus Karna. Who do you like? I don't know. Who's Karna? So do you have a red eye more for beauty? Red dot. Yeah, I would say so. Also it protects you. It protects you from nazar, but I just like the way it looks. But yeah, also it does make you more aware of your third eye. So just a bit of everything. Speak Sanskrit language. Do you know how to speak Sanskrit? Because I do not. You're like my favorite song. Thank you. Am I married? Nope. Nope. I'm not Latina either. No. But yeah, I think I really wanted to talk more about existential kink. I mean, is that something everybody would like to hear more about? About owning your dark side or owning all aspects of you, how to make peace with parts of yourself that you may shame, that you may not like so much, you may feel guilty about, you may feel like you need to hide. Like I said, I literally made a list. I made a list of the things that I did that I didn't like so much, or the things that I had, right? For example, I used to be very insecure. I used to like being in unhealthy relationships. I mean, not like, so okay, the premise is that the things that in your life that exist that you may not like, you do subconsciously like, because you wouldn't have them in your life if you didn't like them to some extent. Because we don't do anything that we don't like. The moment something stops giving us some sort of payout, it could be emotional, subconscious, whatever it is, you just don't engage in that activity anymore. You look more good in drip outfits. Well, it's a good job, but I don't. Thank you. Okay, cool. That's the thing, most will not speak about the dark side. Yeah, that's true. You know, I think that's the thing that really liberated me the most. I made space for better in my life, like a better relationship with money, with partners, with family, with myself, accepting other people's dark side. Because you know what it is? You know, a lot of people who were kind of like picking out flaws in other people, for example, Epstein. Well, okay, that's his dark side, and his dark side is being publicized. Have you looked in the mirror? What about you? There's a saying in Sikhi, and I'm probably gonna mess it up, but it says, I'm not telling you. What's the company? No, I'm not telling you what company it is. Yeah, so you know, there's a saying in Sikhi, it's I'm bura na koi, as in like no one is bad, but I'm the worst. Does that make sense? So which one is it, bro? It's bura na koi, sabse bure hai hum, something like that. Okay. I guess that's a sign of maturity, knowing you would laugh at Seb Jones and probably judge him, so maybe a good reason not to watch. Yeah, honestly, I'm learning, you know, I'm learning. I'd be laughing at myself, you know. What was the driving force for you to believe in oneness? Okay, the driving force. I mean, it's the truth. The driving force was I became a spiritual seeker. So I actually have a video about my transformation and how I used to be a victim, and I had a completely different mindset, and I believed in a separation and duality, and that the world was bad and full of bad people, to I believe I am one with everybody. Everything is one. The dog that bites me is me, you know? Kind of, and how that changed my life. So yeah. Okay. Rohit, I'm done taking orders. So if you block me, are you blocking you? I guess so. Okay. Why would I share the pen company? Oh, because it was of a place. I don't know. I thought it was kind of sus. It wasn't a company. It's from a place, like an institution. I don't want to give personal information away, you know? It's not that deep. Okay, nice. Mindset changed everything. Yeah. Wow. When I went to look for evil, I did not find anyone evil. When I searched my heart, I found no one worse than me. Wow. I mean, that's it, you know? We're so quick to judge others and point out their flaws, but when are we doing that to ourselves? And it's not even about... The thing is, the more I kind of became aware of my flaws, you could say, my shadow side, the more lenient I became towards others about theirs. Because I had plenty. I had an abundance of them. And I would never want someone to judge me for them. I refused to judge myself for them. I wanted to love them. And now I can learn to love them in others too, you know? Okay, why your information is my information? We are one. Yeah, I guess so. We are one. You're amazing. Thank you. How much hours you spend in that room? 24 hours a day. You're a wonderful person. Yes, I am. You're a horrible person. Yes, I am. You're a wonderful person. Yes, I am. Exactly that. And like I said, praise and insult doesn't affect you. That's spiritual maturity. That's equanimity. That's what you want. Because if you allow praise or insult to affect you, you are controlled by other people. You've given your power away. But the moment it doesn't affect you, you show up as your most authentic self. C-U-S-T Chucky. Is that a Christmas? Do I do astrology readings? I do tarot card readings sometimes. Yeah, would you like one? Can I tell a short story of my life? Okay, sure. So one thing I want to preface is stories... Healing is changing your story. So some people... no, that's not. Okay, so some people... Okay, yeah, healing is changing of story. So some people look at their past and see, oh, my past was so bad, it was so full of this. And then when you heal, you now see that past in a different way. You change, you rewrite the story. So my story has been rewritten, and it probably will always be rewritten at every point in my life. Does that make sense? So, oh my God, tell me about your childhood worst memories. I think I'm good. I subscribe, like hearing you speak your mind. Thank you so much. Am I left-handed? No, I'm enjoying it. Like, wow, so thank you. I'm not gonna speak about my childhood worst memories. They're private, but a short story of my life. Okay, cool. I had I don't know, I didn't know a childhood different from mine. It felt normal to have my childhood. It was kind of, okay, I grew up very anxious, you could say, a scared, fearful, insecure, inauthentic individual who feared authority, and, you know, always tried to be a good person, and a good student and a good daughter, and was really obedient and codependent. And yeah, that kind of lasted for a while until it became really difficult to be that person. And then I had addictions, and you know, things just progressively get worse and worse and worse when you have that kind of perspective on life. And that's the way you show up, from a fearful, confused, unstable, inauthentic kind of state. What kind of situations are you going to attract into your life? You can just guess. And it kind of, it wasn't that it was all bad. It wasn't. Of course, there were wonderful times, you know, but it's temporary. Because true peace and fulfillment is when you're one with God, and you have a remembrance of God and an understanding of God and an understanding of the truth of life. So I was very far from that. I was very much a victim, and then things just got really, 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 really bad. And then that was the point where it was a turning point where slowly I started to look at myself, look at my inner reality, change my mindset, started reading, became a spiritual seeker. And then the rest is up to God, you know. God just took me on this journey of slowly changing who I am, helping me get rid of my addictions, and here I am. What brought me to the UK? Oh, so I used to live in Austria, and my parents wanted us to learn English, so they decided to move to the UK so that we could know English, because in Austria you speak German. So yeah, so I moved to the UK when I was 8. Okay, pain is the voice of the pain is the voice of the mother cosmos telling us to realign. Yes, it's true. It is true, and I'm grateful for it. At the time when I was going through it, I thought, why do I have to suffer so much? Why me? Why not anybody else? You know, victim mentality. I say that with love to my older self, but I'm really grateful for it. It's something my soul chose to go through so that I could be who I am today. And I'm really happy with who I am today and where I am today. What books you love the most and authors? Okay, so one of the books that I'm obsessed with is called Bulleh Shah. This one here. You're so much funny. Thank you. So much funny. Okay. Yeah, Bulleh Shah, this one. It's my favorite book so far. Thus, like, that I'm reading. Really cool. I have loads of books. One of the book, it depends. Like, what kind of book do you want? I love books that usually to do with psychology, mindset, maybe a little bit of history, personal growth, spirituality, esotericism, wisdom, you know, things like that. Are you Punjabi? I guess you could say this body is Punjabi, yes. I'm glad you can tell people off in so many languages. Oh my god, thank you. Can I meet you? We're meeting right now. In person? I don't know. You know, I feel like it is in the Figure yourself out before giving advice. Okay. Is that something you've done too? Because you're giving out advice right now. Priya again. Huh? What? Okay, you figured yourself out. Okay, cool. Love that for you. Okay, nice. In the set. I don't know what that means. Thank you. Okay, bye, Rohit. Bye. In terms of books, tell me what kind of book you would... I mean, shall I just tell you some of the books that I have right next to me? I have Conversations with God. Love this book. Such a good book. Have a point of reference is always a good start. Okay. Thanks for your unsolicited advice. So sweet of you. No books, look with it. Okay, thanks. And okay, this one is a good one. Anatomy of the Spirit. I don't really read as much as I used to be honest. Tell a summary about your books. Okay, this book, the reason I love it so much is because it discusses mysticism and it takes loads of different... It makes references to loads of different religions and mysticism, and it talks about connecting with God and who God is, how God is, and how God is about having, you know, truth in your heart, and it's about divinity, it's about the death of the self, it's about pure unconditional love and devotion, things like that. So it's really, really deep. It's so beautiful. I love it. I love it. Conversation with God. Okay. You've read Conversations with God? Name that book again. This one? It's called Bulle Shah. You know Bulle Shah? Bulle Shah ji? Green one. Bulle Shah. Okay. You gotta go, honey. You read the Urantia book. Okay. Urantia book. What is that about? Sell it to me. Priya, do you mind sharing your email? Yeah, my email is in my bio. Mine, that is a plus for me. Yeah. It's okay, he's gone. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to engage in... When you are talking to someone who constantly disagrees with you, you're losing energy. So just stop. Why are you... There are some people who are going to agree with you and some people who are not going to agree with you. And it's not that I want everybody to always tell me, Priya, you're right, Priya, you're right, Priya, you're right, Priya, you're right. But I don't want someone who's like, oh my God, no, oh my God, no, oh my God, no. You know, what am I going to get out of that? Well, there's just going to be conflict, and I'm good. Thank you. Okay, Shivan, I'm not going to be giving my address out. You know, look, what about this? I have you can donate, and then you can send me a list of the books, and then I can just buy them for myself, right? Oh, the Urantia book explains who we are, why we're here, and where we're going. Oh wow, that's a long book. Who we are, why we are here. Okay, so what did you learn? I guess obviously you learned a lot from that. What would you sum it up like? Bullisha. I mean, it's B-U-L-L-A-H. No, B-U-L-L-E-H. Shah. S-H-A-H. You want to give me... Okay, like I said, if you would like to donate, then I have my PayPal, which is linked in my bio. So you can go there. Yeah, Urantia. That sounds really interesting. That's a very long book, though. Very, very, very long book. I can't remember the last time I finished a book. Hopefully, I think I'm definitely going to finish Bulle Shah, but I'm just taking my sweet time with it, you know? Do you like to stay in this one? I do. Are you single? Nope. question, who are you? It's not your name and not what you are. Okay, love that. I am nothingness. You could say that. You could say I'm consciousness, having a human experience through this vessel called Priya. I am loving awareness. I'm unconditional love. I'm a dream, you know? It's done. What's done? Have you ever tried any other book about atheism and Nietzsche? I haven't. No. Oh, gosh, mine is gone. He's gone and he's commenting. Shall we see what he says? The epitome of not being connected. Okay, let's see. It's okay, I guess you get both types of people in life, right? How do we block him? There we go. Hide from channel. Wonderful. But why I feel like you're single? Maybe it's hopeful thinking. Did you know that your body is composed of more cells than there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy? Wow. It's the what's that saying? It's not a saying. As outside, as inside. That one? Does anyone know? But can see you upset. I'm not upset. Why would I be upset? But can't see. Oh, okay. Can't see you upset. Okay. Eat, not eat. Okay. As within, as below, as. Let me get it up. Siddhartha, it will change your perspective. 200 pages. Siddhartha. Oh, is that about that's about Buddha, right? Siddhartha. Hermann Hesse. Okay. As within, as within. I'm trying to get that. As above, so below. That's it. It's like that, right? It's, you know how they say that a space is infinitely expanding and it's infinite? Well, there was this guru that I was listening to that I loved, Guru Pashupati, and he spoke about how he had a siddhi, and one of his siddhis was to go to become really, really small and to be able to be as small, to be able to witness the subatomic particles that exist. And he saw that there was just as much infinity in the particles as there is out in the universe, which I thought was really cool. Right? That's pretty cool. Goodbye and God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much. As are you. I appreciate your time here, your thoughts are helpful in everyday situations. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's funny everyone saying this. I think it's time for me to go too. I feel like my throat's getting a little bit dry, and I think that is all for today. I'm going to edit the video that I filmed earlier. I'm going to be releasing that. That speaks a little bit about what we spoke about. I'm probably going to have to change the name of this live to Spiritual Truths. Let me write it down. I always forget. Spiritual Truths and Owning Your Shadow Side. But then why are we here if everything will come to oneness and end? Experience, fun, play. What do you play? Why do you play games if they're gonna end? Why do you go and eat food at a restaurant if the food will eventually end and you will stop eating? Why do you get into relationships if one day those people are gonna die? You know? I think the fact that everything is temporary makes it more special. And that's what I'm going to end with. Do I believe in ghosts? I don't think things exist whether I believe in them or not, right? Well, I don't know. If I believe in it, then it exists. If I don't believe in it, then it doesn't exist. So, do you believe in them? But like I said, 저지 저화나 아기야 though. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you to my mods. Thank you for everybody's support. Sending you lots of love. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And look out for one of my new videos. So I didn't have satsang this Sunday. It was Mother's Day, so I thought I would let everybody enjoy that. But satsang will be happening again on Sunday. I'm due to be on my period, so we'll see how I'm feeling. It might be on, it might not be on, who knows. I go with the flow of life. But yeah, thank you. Bye bye. Love you. Bye. Okay.